In the scorching desert landscape of Nag Hammadi, Egypt, a chance discovery in 1945 would unravel the mysteries of the past, revealing secrets that had lain hidden for centuries. The accidental unearthing of a treasure trove of ancient texts would change our understanding of early Christianity forever, leaving us with more questions than answers. What secrets do these texts hold about the early history of Christianity? The story of the Nag Hammadi discovery begins with a local farmer, Muhammad Ali, who stumbled upon a large earthenware jar while digging for fertilizer in the desert. As he broke open the jar, he found a collection of ancient texts, bound in leather and written in a language he couldn't understand. The year was 1945, and the world was still reeling from the aftermath of World War II. The discovery of these texts would soon send shockwaves through the academic community, sparking a flurry of interest and debate. The texts found in Nag Hammadi are a collection of Gnostic writings, dating back to the 1st century AD. They include the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, and the Apocryphon of John, among others. These texts offer a unique glimpse into the diverse and often contradictory beliefs of early Christianity, challenging the traditional narrative of the faith. As scholars began to study and translate the texts, they realized that they were dealing with a treasure trove of historical significance, one that would force a re-evaluation of the entire Christian canon. The initial reactions to the discovery were met with a mix of excitement and skepticism. Many scholars were hesitant to accept the authenticity of the texts, citing concerns about their provenance and the possibility of forgery. However, as the texts were carefully examined and translated, it became clear that they were, in fact, genuine artifacts from the early Christian era. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library sparked a new wave of interest in Gnosticism, with many scholars seeking to understand the historical context and significance of these enigmatic texts. As we delve deeper into the secrets of the Nag Hammadi library, we begin to uncover a complex and multifaceted landscape of early Christian thought. The texts reveal a world of diverse perspectives and competing ideologies, where different groups and individuals sought to define the nature of the divine and the role of humanity. The Gnostic writings offer a unique window into this world, one that challenges our traditional understanding of Christianity and forces us to re-examine the very foundations of the faith. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library has had a profound impact on our understanding of early Christianity, forcing scholars to re-evaluate the traditional narrative of the faith. As we continue to explore the secrets of these ancient texts, we begin to unravel a complex web of historical and cultural influences that have shaped the course of Christian thought. From the mystical writings of the Gnostics to the orthodox teachings of the early Church Fathers, the Nag Hammadi library offers a unique glimpse into the diverse and often contradictory world of early Christianity. As we conclude our journey through the mysteries of the Nag Hammadi library, we are left with more questions than answers. What secrets do these texts still hold, and how will they continue to shape our understanding of early Christianity? The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library has opened up a new frontier of research and exploration, one that promises to challenge our assumptions and broaden our understanding of the faith. Join us as we continue to uncover the secrets of the past and explore the enduring legacy of the Nag Hammadi library. As we delve into the contents of the Nag Hammadi library, we find a diverse array of texts that reveal a complex and multifaceted early Christian landscape. The Gnostic Gospels, a collection of sacred writings, offer a unique perspective on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. These texts, written in Coptic, a language that was spoken in Egypt during the Roman period, provide a window into the spiritual practices and theological debates of the early Christian communities. The Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, and the Gospel of Mary are just a few examples of the many texts that make up the Nag Hammadi library. The Gnostic Gospels are characterized by their emphasis on spiritual knowledge, or gnosis, and their rejection of the material world. They often feature Jesus as a wisdom teacher, imparting secret knowledge to his disciples and encouraging them to seek a deeper understanding of the divine. The Gospel of Thomas, for example, contains a collection of sayings and parables that are attributed to Jesus and offer a unique perspective on the nature of the kingdom of God. These texts also often feature female disciples, such as Mary Magdalene, who play a prominent role in the transmission of spiritual knowledge. One of the key themes present in the Gnostic Gospels is the idea of the divine spark within, the notion that each individual possesses a spark of the divine that can be fanned into a flame through spiritual practice and devotion. This idea is reflected in the Gospel of Philip, which describes the process of spiritual transformation as a journey of self-discovery and inner illumination. The Gnostic Gospels also often feature a strong emphasis on the importance of community and the role of the spiritual teacher or guide in facilitating spiritual growth and development. The discovery of a Nag Hammadi library has also shed new light on the historical context in which these texts were written. The library is believed to have been hidden away by a group of monks from the nearby Pachomian Monastery, who sought to preserve these sacred texts from destruction during a time of persecution. The texts themselves offer a unique window into the theological debates and spiritual practices of the early Christian communities and provide important insights into the development of Christian doctrine and practice. The Nag Hammadi library also contains a number of texts that are not directly related to the Gnostic Gospels, but offer important insights into the intellectual and spiritual currents of the time. The Apocryphon of John, for example, is a text that offers a unique perspective on the nature of the divine and the role of the demiurge in the creation of the world. The Hypostasis of the Archons is another text that provides important insights into the development of Gnostic theology and the role of the Archons in the spiritual landscape of the time. As we continue to explore the contents of the Nag Hammadi library, we are struck by the diversity and complexity of early Christian thought. The Gnostic Gospels and other texts offer a unique perspective on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ and provide important insights into the spiritual practices and theological debates of the early Christian communities. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library has opened up a new frontier of research and exploration, one that promises to challenge our assumptions and broaden our understanding of the faith. The Nag Hammadi library is a treasure trove of spiritual and historical significance, offering a unique window into the past and the development of Christian doctrine and practice. As we continue to explore and study these texts, we are reminded of the importance of preserving our cultural and spiritual heritage and of the need to approach these texts with reverence, respect, and an open mind. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library is a reminder that there is always more to learn, and that the past continues to hold many secrets and surprises for us to uncover. From the Fertile Crescent, cradle of civilization, to the sun-baked sands of Upper Egypt, the ancient Near East was a dynamic crucible where empires rose and fell, cultures intertwined, and spiritual traditions profoundly shaped human experience. By the early centuries of the Common Era, this vast expanse lay largely under the dominion of the mighty Roman Empire. Yet beneath Roman administration, it remained a vibrant tapestry woven from Hellenistic thought, ancient Egyptian spirituality, Persian mysticism, and the rigorous monotheism of Judaism. This was a world of constant intellectual and spiritual fermentation, a crossroads where ideas clashed, merged, and evolved, setting the stage for dramatic religious shifts that would define an era. Within this complex and often volatile mosaic, in the small Roman province of Judea, a revolutionary spiritual movement was taking root. From the ancient traditions of Israel, a new current emerged, centered on the enigmatic figure of Jesus of Nazareth. His teachings, delivered through parables and profound pronouncements, proclaimed a kingdom not of this world, challenging existing religious and social paradigms. His crucifixion, followed by the fervent belief in his resurrection among his followers, ignited an extraordinary devotion. This nascent faith, born from Jewish soil, carried within it the seeds of a universal message that would soon transcend its origins. According to the biblical accounts, after his resurrection, his disciples, imbued with unshakable conviction, spread his message with extraordinary zeal. Figures like Peter and Paul embarked on arduous journeys across the vast Roman world. They established communities of believers in major urban centers: Antioch, Ephesus, Corinth, Rome, often facing fierce persecution, yet steadily gaining adherents from all strata of society. Within a few short centuries, what began as a small Jewish sect would transform into a powerful, diverse, and rapidly expanding faith, stretching its influence from the furthest reaches of the Roman Empire to ancient Egypt and beyond. However, early Christianity was far from a monolithic entity. Rather, it was a vibrant, often fragmented movement characterized by a rich diversity of interpretations, theological schools, and spiritual practices. The early centuries saw intense debates raging over fundamental questions: the precise nature of Christ, the true path to salvation, and how sacred scriptures should be interpreted. It was within this dynamic, often contentious milieu, a spiritual marketplace of ideas, that other, distinct spiritual currents began to coalesce, drawing not only on Christian themes, but also on older philosophical traditions. The boundaries of what would become orthodoxy were still fluid and fiercely contested. Among the most significant and often misunderstood of these alternative spiritual paths was Gnosticism. Rooted in the Greek word gnosis, meaning knowledge, Gnosticism posited that salvation was not achieved solely through faith or moral law, but through a secret, intuitive, and experiential knowledge of divine mysteries. This gnosis, they believed, was accessible only to a select few who could transcend the illusions of the material world. Gnostics often viewed the physical universe as inherently flawed, a prison of flesh and suffering, created not by the supreme, benevolent God, but by a lesser, ignorant, or even malevolent deity, the demiurge. Central to Gnostic thought was this profound, dualistic worldview. A supreme, utterly transcendent, unknowable God existed far above the flawed material universe. This perfect, divine realm of light and spirit stood in stark contrast to the corruptible physical cosmos, which was the creation of the demiurge, often identified with the God of the Old Testament. Humanity, for the Gnostics, contained sparks of this divine light, fragments of the true God, trapped within physical bodies. The ultimate goal was to awaken this inner spark through gnosis, remembering one's true divine origin, and thereby escaping the cycles of material existence, ascending back to the pleroma, the fullness of divine light. As the Christian movement matured and sought to define itself, a more unified, orthodox understanding of its doctrines began to emerge. This was championed by influential church fathers like Irenaeus of Lyon and Tertullian, who tirelessly worked to systematize Christian theology and establish doctrinal consistency. These figures actively polemicized against Gnostic teachings, labeling them as dangerous heresies that distorted the true message of Christ, undermined the goodness of creation, and denied the salvific power of his physical incarnation. The debates were fierce, with stakes nothing less than the soul and future of the nascent faith. In Egypt, a land with ancient traditions of esoteric wisdom and philosophical syncretism, Gnosticism found particularly fertile ground. The bustling metropolis of Alexandria, in particular, was a renowned intellectual hub where various schools of thought converged. It was in this dynamic environment, amidst growing pressure from the developing Orthodox Church, that communities holding Gnostic beliefs likely flourished, seeking spiritual truths beyond conventional dogma. As the Orthodox consensus solidified and Gnostic beliefs became increasingly marginalized, these communities, faced with suppression, felt compelled to preserve their sacred texts by secreting them away, perhaps in remote places like the cliffs near Nag Hammadi. Thus, the discovery of the Nag Hammadi library is far more than just an archaeological find. It is a profound portal back to a tumultuous and intellectually vibrant period in late antiquity. These texts offer us an unparalleled glimpse into the diverse spiritual landscape of the early Common Era, revealing not only the rich tapestry of early Christian thought, but also the profound existential and theological questions that animated people seeking salvation and understanding. They challenge us to reconsider the traditionally linear narrative of early Christianity, showing us that what we now call orthodoxy was once just one powerful voice among many, and that the search for gnosis was a vital, enduring current in the ancient stream of faith. This vibrant, sometimes turbulent stream of faith flowed through various channels, and in the very landscape where the Nag Hammadi texts lay hidden, another powerful current was shaping the future of Christianity, the rise of monasticism. Just a few miles from the cliffs where the ancient jar was found, the desert landscape of Upper Egypt birthed a revolutionary form of spiritual devotion. It was here, in the early 4th century, that Pachomius, a former Roman soldier, established the first communal monasteries. His vision transformed solitary asceticism into organized communities, where monks lived, worked, and worshipped together under a strict rule. These Pachomian foundations, like the one at Kinnabosham, near modern-day Nag Hammadi, became hubs of spiritual intensity and intellectual activity, attracting thousands seeking a life dedicated to God. The air in these communities would have vibrated with prayer, labor, and the copying of sacred texts. The proximity of these Pachomian monasteries to the discovery site is more than mere geographical coincidence. It suggests a tantalizing, perhaps even crucial, link. The texts themselves, written in Coptic, the language of the Egyptian Christians, speak to a community deeply embedded in the local religious landscape. The jar, found buried beneath a boulder at the base of the Jabal al-Tarif cliffs, seems to whisper a story not of simple abandonment, but of deliberate concealment. Many scholars now believe the most compelling hypothesis points to a monk from a nearby Pachomian monastery as the individual who buried this precious, yet perilous, collection. Why would a man of God, devoted to the Orthodox faith, guard such seemingly heretical writings? The answer lies in the complex spiritual currents of the 4th century. The burgeoning monastic movement, while a bastion of Orthodox belief, was not monolithic. Within its walls, intellectual inquiry and spiritual exploration thrived, sometimes pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. The mid-4th century saw an escalating campaign against non-canonical texts, most notably articulated by Athanasius, the formidable bishop of Alexandria, in his Festal Letter 39 of 367 CE. This decree explicitly listed the approved books of the Old and New Testaments, implicitly condemning all others as heretical. For a monk possessing Gnostic scriptures, this presented an impossible dilemma. To destroy them was to erase knowledge, perhaps even insights he valued. To keep them openly was to invite severe condemnation, even excommunication. The act of burying them, therefore, was a desperate, almost reverent act of preservation, a silent rebellion against the prevailing tide of theological uniformity. If this hypothesis holds true, the implications for our understanding of the Nag Hammadi library, and indeed early Christianity itself, are profound. It transforms the Gnostic text from being mere curiosities of a fringe cult into documents that circulated and perhaps even resonated within established Christian circles, including the very heart of the Orthodox monastic movement. It suggests that the intellectual and spiritual landscape of early Christian Egypt was far more nuanced and porous than previously imagined. Monks, often seen as guardians of orthodoxy, might have grappled personally with these alternative interpretations, finding in them perhaps a deeper wisdom, a different path to gnosis, even while outwardly adhering to the emerging dominant doctrines. The boundaries between orthodox and heterodox were not always as sharply defined in practice as they were in theological treatises. Yet, this compelling narrative is not without its complexities and scholarly debate. While the Pachomian Connection remains a leading theory, it is not universally accepted as a definitive certainty. Some scholars argue that while the proximity is suggestive, direct archaeological evidence linking the specific jar to a Pachomian monastery is still lacking. Other possibilities are explored. Perhaps the text belonged to a community of lay Gnostics living in the vicinity or a non-Pachomian ascetic group. The remote location of the burial site, while convenient for a monk, could also simply reflect a desire for secrecy by any individual or group seeking to protect these forbidden writings. The absence of specific monastic markings or direct references within the codices themselves leaves room for alternative interpretations, reminding us that archaeology often provides tantalizing clues, not always definitive answers. Regardless of whether the Nag Hammadi texts were hidden by a Pachomian monk, a lay Gnostic, or another spiritual seeker, the broader monastic context of 4th century Upper Egypt remains undeniably central to their story. The intellectual fervor, the spiritual quests, and the intense theological debates that characterized these early Christian communities created the very environment in which such texts could be produced, circulated, and ultimately hidden. The desert, often perceived as a barren void, was in fact a fertile ground for spiritual innovation and contestation. The Nag Hammadi Library, therefore, stands not just as a collection of ancient books, but as a silent testament to the dynamic, often turbulent, intellectual and spiritual life of early Christian Egypt, a life deeply intertwined with the rise of monasticism and the struggle for theological identity. As we delve into the archaeological evidence surrounding the Nag Hammadi discovery, we find ourselves in the vast expanse of the Egyptian desert, where the ruins of ancient monasteries and churches whisper tales of a bygone era. The site itself, a rugged landscape of sandstone cliffs and dusty valleys, belies the significance of the treasures that lie hidden beneath its surface. It was here, in 1945, that a local farmer stumbled upon a cache of ancient texts, bound in leather and written in a language that would take decades to decipher. The Nag Hammadi Library, as it came to be known, is a collection of 13 codices, containing over 50 texts that shed new light on the spiritual and intellectual landscape of early Christian Egypt. The texts themselves are a testament to the ingenuity and craftsmanship of the scribes who penned them. Written in Coptic, the latest stage of the ancient Egyptian language, these works reveal a complex and nuanced worldview, one that blends elements of Greek philosophy, Jewish mysticism, and Christian theology. As we delve into the pages of the Nag Hammadi codices, we encounter a diverse array of texts, from the apocryphal Gospel of Thomas to the esoteric treatise of the Apocryphon of John. Each text offers a unique window into the spiritual and intellectual currents of the time, and collectively, they paint a portrait of a community that was deeply engaged with the big questions of existence. The significance of the Nag Hammadi discovery lies not only in the texts themselves, but in the context in which they were found. The site, an ancient monastery or church, speaks to the complex and often fraught relationship between orthodoxy and heresy in the early Christian period. As scholars have painstakingly reconstructed the history of the site, they have uncovered a narrative of struggle and suppression, of a community that was forced to hide its most sacred texts in order to preserve them for posterity. The Nag Hammadi Library, in this sense, is a testament to the power of ideas to shape and transform human culture, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Nag Hammadi discovery is the connection to the Pachomian monastic movement, a community of Christian ascetics who lived and worked in the Egyptian desert during the 3rd and 4th centuries. According to tradition, the Pachomian monks were known for their rigorous spiritual discipline and their commitment to preserving ancient texts and traditions. As we explore the ruins of their monasteries, we find evidence of a thriving literary and intellectual culture, one that was deeply engaged with the spiritual and theological debates of the time. The Nag Hammadi codices, in this sense, are a tangible link to a bygone era, a window into the spiritual and intellectual world of the Pachomian monks. As scholars have pored over the texts and artifacts of the Nag Hammadi discovery, they have begun to reconstruct a nuanced and complex picture of the early Christian period. The Nag Hammadi library, far from being a marginal or heretical collection, is revealed to be a vital part of the broader Christian tradition, a testament to the diversity and richness of early Christian thought. The texts, in this sense, are not simply artifacts of a bygone era, but living, breathing windows into the spiritual and intellectual world of the past. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the Nag Hammadi discovery, we find ourselves drawn into a world of profound beauty and complexity, a world that continues to inspire and challenge us to this day. The archaeological evidence surrounding the Nag Hammadi discovery is a testament to the power of human curiosity and ingenuity. From the initial discovery of the text to the painstaking process of deciphering and translating them, the story of the Nag Hammadi library is a reminder that the past is always present, waiting to be uncovered and interpreted. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the Nag Hammadi discovery, we are drawn into a world of wonder and awe, a world that challenges our assumptions and broadens our understanding of the human experience. The Nag Hammadi codices, in this sense, are not simply ancient texts, but a gateway to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. The scholarly debate and discussion surrounding the Nag Hammadi discovery is a testament to the ongoing relevance and importance of the texts. As scholars continue to analyze and interpret the codices, they are forced to confront the complexities and nuances of the early Christian period. The Nag Hammadi library, in this sense, is not simply a collection of ancient texts, but a catalyst for ongoing dialogue and discussion, a reminder that the past is always present, waiting to be explored and understood. The story of the Nag Hammadi discovery is a powerful reminder of the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage and the ongoing relevance of the humanities in the modern world. As scholars have delved deeper into the Nag Hammadi texts, a nuanced understanding of their significance has emerged. The discovery has sparked intense debate regarding the nature of early Christianity and the role of Gnostic thought in shaping the faith. According to Dr. Elaine Pagels, a renowned scholar of early Christianity, the Nag Hammadi texts reveal a diverse and complex landscape of Christian beliefs in the first centuries after Christ. The Nag Hammadi library, with its diverse collection of texts, challenges the traditional narrative of Christian history. It presents a faith that was not uniform, but rather a dynamic, evolving entity with various interpretations and practices. This realization has significant implications for our understanding of the development of Christianity, prompting scholars to reevaluate the historical context in which the faith emerged. Dr. Karen King, a prominent historian of early Christianity, notes that the Nag Hammadi texts demonstrate a pronounced emphasis on spiritual knowledge and the attainment of gnosis. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Nag Hammadi discovery is the connection between the texts and the early Christian monastic movement. The Pachomian monasteries, established by Saint Pachomius in the 4th century, played a significant role in preserving and transmitting these ancient texts. According to tradition, the monks of the Pachomian order were dedicated to a life of asceticism, prayer, and study, and it is within this context that the Nag Hammadi library was likely compiled and hidden away for safekeeping. The scholarly consensus regarding the Nag Hammadi texts is that they represent a unique window into the spiritual and intellectual landscape of early Christianity. While debates persist regarding the exact nature and significance of these texts, there's a growing recognition of their importance for understanding the complex, multifaceted character of the early Christian faith. As Dr. Helmut Kester, a distinguished historian of early Christianity, observes, the Nag Hammadi texts demonstrate a remarkable diversity of theological perspectives and spiritual practices, which in turn reflect the dynamic, adaptive nature of early Christian communities. Scholars continue to analyze and debate the implications of the Nag Hammadi texts, with some arguing that they represent a previously unrecognized strand of Christian thought, while others see them as part of a broader, more complex tapestry of early Christian traditions. The ongoing discussion surrounding these texts serves as a reminder of the provisional, evolving nature of historical understanding and the need for continued scholarship and exploration in the field of early Christian studies. As Dr. Bentley Layton, a prominent scholar of Gnosticism, notes, the Nag Hammadi texts have opened up new avenues of research and inquiry, inviting us to reconsider our assumptions about the development of Christianity and the role of Gnostic thought in shaping the faith. The Nag Hammadi discovery has also sparked a re-evaluation of the traditional Christian canon, with some scholars arguing that the texts represent a suppressed or marginalized strand of Christian thought. This, in turn, has led to a renewed interest in the process of canon formation and the role of early Christian authorities in shaping the faith. According to Dr. Femi Perkins, a renowned scholar of early Christianity, the Nag Hammadi texts demonstrate a pronounced emphasis on individual spiritual experience and the attainment of gnosis, which challenges the dominant, institutional narrative of Christian history. As scholars continue to explore the Nag Hammadi texts, they are reminded of the provisional, context-dependent nature of historical understanding. The discovery has prompted a re-examination of the complex, multifaceted character of early Christianity and the role of Gnostic thought in shaping the faith. The ongoing debate surrounding these texts serves as a testament to the enduring power of the past to shape our understanding of the present, and the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage for future generations. Dr. John Turner, a prominent scholar of Gnosticism, observes that the Nag Hammadi texts have opened up new avenues of research and inquiry, inviting us to reconsider our assumptions about the development of Christianity and the role of Gnostic thought in shaping the faith. In conclusion, the Nag Hammadi texts represent a significant, enduring chapter in the ongoing story of Christian history and the pursuit of spiritual knowledge. As scholars continue to explore and debate the implications of these texts, they are reminded of the profound, lasting impact of the past on our understanding of the present, and the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage for future generations. The Nag Hammadi discovery serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of ongoing scholarship and exploration in the field of early Christian studies, and the need for continued dialogue and discussion regarding the complex, multifaceted character of the early Christian faith. As we reflect on the significance of the Nag Hammadi texts, we are reminded of the profound impact they have had on our understanding of early Christianity. These ancient manuscripts, hidden away for centuries, have shed new light on the diverse and complex character of the early Christian faith. The discovery of the Nag Hammadi library has challenged traditional notions of Christian orthodoxy and has sparked a renewed interest in the study of Gnosticism and its role in the development of Christianity. The Nag Hammadi texts have also sparked intense debate and discussion among scholars, with some arguing that they represent a previously unknown branch of Christianity, while others see them as a collection of heretical writings. Regardless of one's interpretation, it is clear that these texts have expanded our understanding of the early Christian world and have raised important questions about the nature of faith, orthodoxy, and the transmission of religious knowledge. As we consider the implications of the Nag Hammadi discovery, we are drawn into a rich and complex world of ideas and traditions, where the boundaries between orthodoxy and heresy are constantly shifting and evolving. One of the most significant contributions of the Nag Hammadi library is its demonstration of the diversity and creativity of early Christian thought. The texts found at Nag Hammadi reveal a wide range of theological perspectives, from the deeply mystical and symbolic to the more practical and communal. This diversity challenges the traditional notion of a single, monolithic Christian orthodoxy and instead suggests a complex and multifaceted faith with many different voices and perspectives. As we explore the Nag Hammadi texts, we are reminded of the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage and the need for ongoing scholarship and exploration in the field of early Christian studies. As we look to the future, we are aware of the potential for new discoveries and the importance of continued scholarly exploration and discussion. The Nag Hammadi discovery serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage and the need for ongoing dialogue and debate about the complex and multifaceted character of the early Christian faith. As we consider the implications of the Nag Hammadi texts, we are drawn into a rich and dynamic conversation with many different voices and perspectives and a deep sense of wonder and discovery. The Nag Hammadi discovery has also raised important questions about the role of tradition and orthodoxy in the development of Christianity. The texts found at Nag Hammadi challenge traditional notions of Christian orthodoxy and highlight the diversity and creativity of early Christian thought. As we reflect on the significance of the Nag Hammadi texts, we are reminded of the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage and the need for ongoing scholarship and exploration in the field of early Christian studies. The Nag Hammadi library serves as a powerful reminder of the complexity and multifaceted character of the early Christian faith and the need for continued dialogue and discussion about the nature of faith and orthodoxy. As we consider the implications of the Nag Hammadi discovery, we are drawn into a rich and complex world of ideas and traditions, where the boundaries between orthodoxy and heresy are constantly shifting and evolving. The Nag Hammadi texts have expanded our understanding of the early Christian world and have raised important questions about the nature of faith, orthodoxy, and the transmission of religious knowledge. As we reflect on the significance of the Nag Hammadi texts, we are reminded of the importance of preserving and interpreting our cultural heritage and the need for ongoing scholarship and exploration in the field of early Christian studies. And so, we come to the end of our journey, but the conversation is far from over. We invite you to share your thoughts and reflections on the Nag Hammadi texts and their significance for our understanding of early Christianity. Join the conversation in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more journeys into the fascinating world of biblical history and archaeology. Together, let us continue to explore and discover the rich and complex heritage of the ancient world, and may we be inspired by the beauty and wonder of the written word.